from within oneself, from the secret place within consciousness, from the Holy of Holies within one's own heart, to which He alone has the key. An old teacher from the Orient said to his students, "I can point to the moon and describe it to you in minute detail, but you must see it for yourself. You must look at it with your own eyes." A teacher explains the alphabet, but the student alone must comprehend it. Well, for a time he learns mechanically and academically, and then suddenly something clicks, something blossoms within, and the student really knows the alphabet and what it is. It's an awakening, a breaking through, a deep within thing. Suddenly he knows it, he knows the alphabet, and he knows it. Now this awakening is very personal. When it happens, one often says, "Why, that's crystal clear. Now I understand." The softer sounds of poetry record such an illumination as follows. It is true. It is true. I am the king. I am. The very words I whispered as tinkling cymbals from the slopes, the same sounds I prattled in pious self-righteousness from the plateaus, and droned as far-off dreams along the pathways of desire, but spoken finally from the mountain that childlikeness is. It is so. I am the king. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now it is the eye that seeth thee, O mind, being, me. This is my kingdom. My kingdom is me. My very self I see, all perfect infinity. Just as you learned the alphabet for yourself, while a teacher only pointed the way, now you must discern and understand reality for yourself. Otherwise, truth, reality, that which is, will remain an academic, impersonal, abstruse, and nebulous nothing. Fact will forever remain just what a teacher or a preacher, a leader, or a church, or a book tells you. And this isn't enough. This isn't enough to experience the peace of heart that you hope for, nor see the perfection that you are already. Ask yourself this basic question right now. Who am I? Well, do you know? If you do, you know it. And those around you know it too. Your experience is a tranquility into which nothing that worketh or maketh a lie ever enters in. These words are intended to help one discover the heaven, the peace and tranquility that are right here on earth, to find that all he could ever hope to have is right here, right now, right where we are. To know that it all has to do with determining what fiction is and what fact is concerning God and oneself. The arithmetic illustration. There is a remarkable and magnificent similarity between what is termed God, fact, reality, truth, and the principle of mathematics. Entire philosophic systems have been built around this likeness. Nearly 2,600 years ago, the Greek philosophers and mathematician Pythagoras said that no concept more nearly approached divinity than the principle of arithmetic. He pointed out that nearly every quality attributed to God was already clearly expressed for all to see and understand in the simplest fact of arithmetic. Indeed, there is inherent in nature a revealed as well as a hidden harmony that reflects itself under the image of simple mathematical laws. Now, this similarity aids in understanding more clearly who and what God actually is. And listener, I remind you that as we come to understand what God is to us, we are equally and at the same time coming to understand who and what we are, who and what identity is. And why is that? Well, because we are made in the image and likeness of God. And while, as the philosophers of old might say, the ineffable is past finding out, well, the more we know of ourselves, the more surely and certainly we know of the ineffable. Now, this mathematical similarity aids in understanding more clearly who and what God actually is. It paints a picture considerably more accurate than humanity's anthropomorphic concept. The arithmetic illustration here will help you understand absolute reality in such a manner as to free you from some of your troubles, which are the seeming consequence of ignorance concerning reality or God. Examine these parallels. God is spiritual and not material. The principle of arithmetic is not material either. It cannot be seen or weighed on a scale. It cannot be felt or picked up by the hand. Well, equally, God is omnipresent. You can understand the all-presence of God by contemplating the omnipresence of arithmetic. The principle of arithmetic is everywhere, isn't it? 2 plus 2 is 4 right where you are this minute. So is everything concerning the principle of arithmetic. The entire principle is at the top of Mount Everest, and it's under the waters of the sea. If one were on the moon or at the bottom of a well, the principle of arithmetic would be there too. There is no place in the universe one can... If one were to... I've lost my place. If one were on the moon or at the bottom of a well, the principle of arithmetic would be there too. Now, there is no place in the universe one can go to escape the principle. It is everywhere, every bit, perfectly present. Nowhere is it the least bit absent. I'm sure you can't imagine a place where addition is present but subtraction is absent, or where everything is present except the number 5, or where 2 plus 2 is 4.5. Well, just as one can easily understand that the entire principle of arithmetic is perfectly present everywhere, so can one comprehend the omnipresent perfection of God. Can you imagine a personal situation so frustrating that 2 plus 2 is 4 would not be present? Right there. God, reality, fact, principle is present too, no matter where you are, nor how terrible the seeming situation. In Psalms we read, "Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me." The arithmetic illustration is a means by which one is able to comprehend the continuing presence of perfection, which is everywhere. We'll now consider a few more interesting parallels. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now this is a simple fact of arithmetic. 2 plus 2 is 4. Not 5, not 3, not 4 and 1/10, not 3 and 99 100ths. 2 plus 2 is 4 and nothing else. The perfect fact exists. The principle proclaims only the correct statement that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Any other answer, no matter how close, is not the correct answer, nor is it contained within the principle at all. It is not known by the perfect principle and has no existence in it, so far as this perfect principle is concerned. Now, can anyone doubt the accuracy of